Welcome back, everybody. And we're going to be looking at the language of podcasts.
Okay.
And this is all thanks to some really cool research that came out of Simon Fraser University. So basically, we're going to answer the question, like, what makes the language of podcasts unique? So to figure that out, these researchers looked at a ton of Spotify podcast transcripts. And they used a technique called multidimensional analysis, or MDA. It's basically like a really sophisticated computer program that analyzes text, and it can spot hidden patterns in how language is used.
Interesting. So they compared it to like other communication styles, like blogs?
Yeah, so they compared it to blogs, online discussions, radio shows, even just like casual conversations and storytelling. And they found that podcasts have their own distinct linguistic fingerprint.
And the researchers actually found that a lot of podcasts use a lot of present tense verbs, contractions like we're and can't, and personal pronouns like you and I. And this creates that sense of immediacy and connection, like you're part of the conversation. What's really cool is that even though they're using this casual conversational style, they still deliver information really effectively. They use sophisticated vocabulary a lot of times, and complex sentence structure.
So it's not just about being chummy. They actually have something to say, and they're doing it in a way that feels both engaging and informative.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance. It seems like podcasts have really found that sweet spot.
For sure, but it doesn't stop there. They didn't just analyze the informal and informative aspects.
Okay.
They looked at other elements too. Podcasts often weave in personal anecdotes and narratives.
Okay.
Which you don't really see in other more formal types of communications.
That's true.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I get so hooked on certain podcasts.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the information they're sharing.
Right.
It's how they bring it to life with those personal touches and stories.
For sure, because stories are just naturally engaging.
Yeah.
They draw you in, they make you feel more connected to the speaker and the topic. Think about when you listen to your favorite podcast. And they're telling you a story and you're just on the edge of your seat, completely engrossed. That's that narrative magic at work.
Yeah, and the researchers found linguistic evidence for this. In the transcripts, they saw things like past tense verbs being used and the use of the third person, like he said or she did.
Yeah.
Those are all indicators of storytelling.
So they're not just chatting with you. They're actually weaving these stories in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But podcasts don't just stop at stories and chit chat.
Oh, really?
There's a deeper layer that they tap into as well.
What's that?
Well, what's fascinating is that podcasts also show signs of what linguists call abstract elaboration. This is where they use more complex language features.
Okay.
Like nominalizations.
Right.
And really intricate sentence structures.
Gotcha.
To kind of explore deeper concepts and abstract ideas.
So it's they're getting a little heady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you break that down for us non-linguists, though?
Sure.
What are nominalizations?
So basically, nominalizations are when you take a verb and turn it into a noun. It's actually a really efficient way to pack more information into fewer words.
Okay.
And podcasts use this technique to delve into these thinky topics,
right,
but make them accessible to a wider audience.
So it's they're finding a way to have those deep philosophical conversations without getting bogged down in overly academic language.
Yes, sneaking in those brain-boosting ideas while we're enjoying a good story. They sprinkle in some storytelling.
Yes.
And they even manage to slip in some brain-bending concepts.
So this is like a masterclass in podcasting.
Yeah.
Hidden within a linguistic study. By consciously incorporating elements of informality storytelling, abstract thought into our own podcasts.
Right.
We can create content that really resonates with our audience.
Totally.
So it's about understanding the tools of the trade.
Yes.
And using them effectively.
Yes.
Knowing how to weave a compelling story, how to sprinkle in those personal touches, and even how to tackle complex ideas without alienating your listeners.
Right.
That's pretty powerful stuff. And with that in mind, we've reached the end of our deep dive.
The end.
We've explored the unique linguistic fingerprint of podcasts.
We did.
The ways they blend informality with information, and the implications for both listeners and creators. We hope you've gained a newfound appreciation for this dynamic and ever-evolving medium. And remember, the next time you hit play on your favorite podcast, listen closely.
Listen closely.
You might just hear the magic of language unfolding in your ears.
I love it.
Until next time, happy listening.
Happy listening.